Okay, everyone, how are you this evening? I don't think you guys can you see my email? Does it show the email? Yes, no, thumbs up. No, it doesn't. No, okay. Well, it's not sharing. Does it say like Zoom AI note taker? Yeah, okay. We didn't want that. There we go. How about that now? Is that better?
Yes.
You see, second time's a charm. Well, welcome to the call. Jennifer Polk here. We are August 3rd, 2026. I think today was officially our new CEO's, Terrence Moorhead's first official day, but he wasn't in the office today. So I'm sure he's like has to sign all the contracts and do all that stuff, right? So we had an amazing, more people coming in, amazing executive call. And I can't wait to hear what Andrea has to say about that. And also her story. I asked her to share her incredible story. But first, we're going to run through our in announcements really quick. So if you did not watch the Open the Month call with Tara Wilson tonight, it was incredible. You can find that on the official LifeVantage Facebook. It's a consultant, US consultant Facebook page. If you are not in there, ask a leader how to get in there because you have to be invited and we'll get you in there. So August 12th, the contact center is closed from 9:30 to 2:30 for training. August 18th, contact center is closed from 9:30 to 1:30. August 20th, our product focus this month is on the True Protect Mineral Sunscreen. Yay! Perfect timing, August, when everybody's out in the sun. We have the best products on the market, best products. And then August 25th is our close of the month with the LifeVantage leaders at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And then August 31st, the contact center will be open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Phone, email, chat, and text support. And then if you have a special exception, I know you can go through your executive consultant to get to them until 12. So they are open until 12. There we go. If you didn't get to see that, it was incredible. Tara did such a great call tonight. It was just so good, so good, so good. Because working works. That's what she always says, right? Working works. And you got to make a decision tonight. She was talking about making a decision, right? And let's see, next we have our Cancun Achievers Retreat. There are already people that have earned this Achievers Retreat in that first month. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not there yet. But good for them, good on them. And it's all again about making a decision. So this week, challenge yourself to reconnect with 3 people that you've been meaning to reach out to with one genuine conversation that could lead to a new customer or a new consultant. And that will help you and help them. Like last week when we had Sherida Brimhall on the call and her 2 people that were like pushing her to make Whistler and they all did it together. How fun is that, right? And to track your progress, there's the tracker is up online. And then it all starts with yellow and global convention this year. That's in Salt Lake City. Again, this is the last time it's going to be in Salt Lake City for years and years because they are redoing the convention center. And today we learned that the 200 room count for the free VIP gift is sold out, but you can still, the blocks are still there. So don't miss that chance. And I know we have several people that have some extra tickets. So if you're looking for some extra tickets, let us know. Okay. And then we have our social media training. Your convention story starts today. So you can like draw a line in the sand and say, okay, I am going to earn my way to convention. And then our Activation Nation Rewind is Tanya Sheldon. Oh, I just love her. I being able to see her grow through all these years has just been truly magical. And then Big Blue calendars, make sure when you're having these big events, put it on the Big Blue calendar so everyone can find us. And I think that is it for that. I'm going to stop sharing there. And then we have our Wednesday wellnesses every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That if you go into Team Hope and look under the featured post, you'll see all of those. We also have a Cindy Reed meeting in Arvada this Saturday, and I believe Kathleen is sharing her story, right? Kathleen, you're sharing your story this Saturday, and that's in Arvada, and it's from 9. Well, the meeting is from 10 to 11. The brunch part starts at 9:30 to 9:45. Okay. And then I think Mackenzie's going to be sharing her story as well. And I know Cindy was looking for a third, and I just asked Ellen. So we might have all three Team Hope members sharing at Cindy's meeting. I love it. Woo! I love it. And I will be there. And then on the 26th of August, I have not got it up on Big Blue because we just scheduled it. August 26th, we're doing our third Beyond Massage presentation at with Kelly Petty and I, and that's also in Arvada, Colorado. Sorry, Julie, Andrea, and Martina. But if you know people in Colorado, you can always send them our way. Always send them our way. And let's see what else. Convention we talked about already. Momentum Academy in January. Or no, excuse me. The next Momentum Academy is in Atlanta, Georgia in April. And that is also up. And I know myself and Kathleen and Zai have already signed up for that. And I'm not sure, I don't get to see everybody. I don't, I'm not seeing people who've registered. Andrea, are you able to see that in your back office? I, I
For
can't.
for global and for
Uh,
momentum, yes, I'll text you afterwards. There's a way to look at your tickets in the back office, and then it says your downline attendance.
yes, I've always been able to, but just like in the last
Oh, you
month.
mean you can't right now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I was like, I can't see anybody who's because I know like all my people are like, yes, I have, and I can't see them. So I don't know.
do you know
Um,
what? They had a problem with the website, and then they were putting everything back in order of importance, and
so that's
just
maybe okay.
maybe something that'll be popping up soon.
Yes. So normally I put a list of who is registered so then people know in case they have registered because there's computer stuff. Like we all have computer stuff, right? And so it was like, I remember Steve Clements thought he was registered, and I'm like, I'm not seeing you registered. And he's like, oh no. So that's why I tell people, I'm like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm doing it just to make sure if you are. So without further ado, now, okay. um, I get to introduce my good friend. I get to say that now. Like, I feel like after Alaska and the reunion, the executive reunion, Andrea, all the time that we got to spend together, I just, I adore you. I love your story. I love your family. I love your husband is so sweet and kind, and he just adores you. And I love that as well. So, a little bit, and then I'll let Andrea tell her story and why she's so excited. So, she's a wife, and she's a homeschooling mom of not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, but 8 children. 8 children. So if people say I'm too busy, I'm like, leave the excuses at the door, right? She's been with Life Vantage for 7.5 years. She and her chef husband Andre, and they're just such a beautiful couple. Saw the potential in the industry, and they were looking for network marketing, you guys. So when people are like, oh, is it one of them, I'm like, yes. Like, well, what do you mean, is it one of them? What does that mean? Tell me more. And so they found it. So 3 years into their journey, Andre was able to leave his job as an executive chef, and they've been traveling. This like traveling full time for the last 4.5 years with their family in an RV because that's something they've always wanted to do. And so um, that just hit my heart that you get to do whatever you want to do with who you want to do whenever you want to do it. And you guys work really, really hard. I know you do. But those kids, what a blessing. what a blessing that they get to be around. So without further ado, I'm going to let Andrea take over the rest of the call for the next 20 minutes. So, Andrea.
Oh my goodness, I adore you. And I think the biggest blessing that came from the executive gathering was just all of us being together in person and just bonding and sharing our stories and creating that sisterhood and that brotherhood. It was so, so powerful. I love it. I love our incentive trips. You guys, I'm so happy to be here with you all tonight. I see Kathleen, Anne, Ellen, Martina, Paula, Nancy. It's so fun. I have a question before I start sharing tonight. I was thinking to ask you guys, what is your why? So I would love for you to either unmute or put it in the comments and let me know why you joined LifeVantage. Like, why did you say yes to this? Why are you on the call tonight? And you can feel free to unmute, or if you're a typer, go ahead and type it in there. And whatever is true for you. So if you joined because you wanted a discount on a product, or you joined because you wanted to tell the world about it, or you had a healing story. We can't say the word healing, but if our products helped you, helping people is Anne. Okay, I love that.
Can you say all of the above?
All the above, all of it. I love it.
Well,
Martina,
I
you're like,
joined because my husband said it was a good thing. He's been in the science field for almost 40 years.
oh wow.
But throughout our journey over the last 7 years, we both have healing stories.
Amazing. So
Yeah,
he saw the science and he said we have to get involved and we have to share with people.
exactly.
And then he saw the business opportunity as well.
Yeah, because he wanted to retire. That was 7 years ago. He hasn't retired yet, but rumor has it he's retiring September 30th. So
Ooh, that's exciting. That's very
yeah.
exciting. So he saw the science, you wanted to share it with people, and then you saw a vehicle to retirement.
Yeah, I mean, we're not anywhere near that right now, but I was probably more of a glorified, customer for many years. And I would say probably 2, 3 years ago, I think, when I met Jennifer. She's
Oh.
kind of inspired me, mentored me, all the above, because I'm not on her team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
you're a rock star.
So
yes, you are.
Team
there
Life
you
Vantage, right?
That's right.
go.
Yes.
So
Oh,
yeah, I mean, yeah, and now I mean he works it with me, and so I will never stop taking it.
oh my goodness. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Martina.
Thank
That's
you.
powerful. And then Anne wants to help people. Kathleen says, my husband was desperate to have his wife back. So you have a healing story, Kathleen. So powerful. I'd love to hear that.
Like right now.
Well, yeah, actually. Do you have a minute?
I don't want to take up everybody's time. Basically I had long COVID,
Yes.
and then a year later I was diagnosed, well, I wasn't diagnosed yet with an autoimmune disease, super rare autoimmune disease that affected my speech, my swallowing, and my breathing. And I always get emotional telling my story because I literally went from not being able to complete a sentence
Wow.
to um just my executive functioning was flatlined, and my memory, lots of things. And my husband, like I said, was just desperate to have me back, and I had the options that I had for treatment were terrible. And so he was like, I'm gonna try them. And I was like, go ahead, they're not gonna work. And then I saw him getting better, and my little competitive side was like, he's not going to feel better than I am. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. And then, like, after 5 weeks, I'd slept through the night. I was able to write a report. I have another business, helping older adults age safe and independent at home. And at my worst, it took me 20 hours to write a report. And within like 9 weeks, I was able to write a report in 4 hours. So that was a huge, huge improvement. And then also I got off of antidepressants that I had been on for 30 years. So there's a whole lot more to it than that, but
Wow.
that's it in a nutshell.
That's huge, sister. And your why should make you cry. So for you to get emotional like that, every single one of us should have a why that like makes us want to cry. Like we can't contain it. Watching my sister Ellen get her life back. That's amazing. And then just wanting to share it with everyone, Paula. So, Ellen said my why was weight loss, natural GLP-1, but now I want Charles to retire. So you came in for the products and then you saw the vision of what the business is. Okay, this is so helpful and it's so powerful. I had a vision for more. I was a mom who just wanted more, and really my story starts with my husband. I love my husband so much. We got married and then he just worked for forever. And he's almost 13 years older than me. He's about 12 years and 3/4 a year older than me. And that kind of, I loved it. And at the same time, it was like, wait, he's getting older and we don't have a retirement plan. He's from Germany. He came over here. We got married when he was 37 and he started from scratch over here. We knew we wanted to have a big family. And he worked really hard as an executive chef and he was really good at it. But the payoff was we just never saw him. And so I was a mom of, one, two, then three, then four, then five kids. We were homeschooling. People didn't know my husband, and that really pained me because, like Jennifer said, he's such a beautiful man. He's such a huge part of our life, and people just had no idea who he was. I was showing up to church alone. I would go to evening sports events for the kids alone. I would do the homeschool co-op alone. I felt like a single mom. And finally, one day, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I started to look into doing other things. At first, it was a restaurant, right? Because I didn't know anything about business. I'm not a business-minded woman. All I wanted to be was a wife and mom. But I started to look into opening a restaurant with my husband, doing things out of our comfort zone just so we can have a chance at a better life, right? Because if we stayed doing what we were doing, he would work until he died. Like there was no retirement plan with the amount of kids we had and all the expenses we had, right? We were good about living within our means, but I always tell people if you go down the crunchy rabbit hole, you start to find out to live a healthy life is very expensive, right? If you want to have, Pepsi and get whatever your health care is going to pay for and chemo, that you can get that. Or if you want to go to a chiropractor, if you want to have healthy organic food, if you want to go to a holistic dentist, if you want to get the silver fillings out of your mouth, if you want to do anything natural and healing and good, it's going to cost you a lot of money. And so that's the world we live in. And we realized we had to create more of an income. And at first we looked at opening a restaurant and then we didn't do that. But long story short, God put a mentor in our life and he showed my husband and I that everything we were praying for, everything we were looking for was network marketing. It was incredible. Like he just completely opened our eyes to the point that now we didn't want to sign up with him because I wasn't in love with his products. I tried his products. I wanted to be in love with his products and I just couldn't. I couldn't like fall in love with them. So but we fell in love with the industry and the vision that he shared with us. Like this is something you can start in the nooks and crannies of your life and you can take it as far and as big as you want. Right. And he showed us leverage. He showed us the time freedom that you can create with this. He showed us what an incredible vehicle network marketing is. And then we started to look at companies. And I looked at my husband. I remember saying, I don't know if the creme de la creme exists. I don't know if what I'm looking for even exists in the network marketing industry, but there are a lot of good companies. We should just pick one and run. Because I was so hungry to just get started. And that's when I ran into a mutual friend and she was friends with Sam and Ray Allen, who are our upline. And she heard me so excited talking about business, telling people, do you know we can be free? Do you know you can have more time with your husband? Do you know you can create financial independence? And she said, well, what business are you with? I said, I'm not, but I'm looking for one. I'm looking for a business. And so she said, well, you should talk to my friend. I think it's a business. They sell a yellow pill. It does everything. That's all I heard. So then we learned about LifeVantage. Bessie, close the door. We learned about LifeVantage. I have kids coming in and out. I'm at my parents' house right now in Pennsylvania. So we heard about LifeVantage, and you guys, that was it. When I saw the science behind LifeVantage, with my crunchy journey and all the things I had learned, I was doing home birth, I was seeing chiropractors, we were getting raw milk, and we were just living very clean and very holistic. I was like, this is something I've never seen before, and this is something the world needs to know about. And this is something that I'm going to, lock arms with and take it all the way to the top. So we saw that big business vision. And my why from day one was to retire my husband. My why. It was, but you guys, it wasn't just like, oh, that'd be nice. You know, it wasn't that at all. It was a burning desire. It was like you have to get to the point that your why makes you cry, like Kathleen. Like it really evokes emotion in you. And you got to get to the point where you dig into that why and then you're like, it can't not happen because that would be unacceptable. That would be miserable. I couldn't endure that. It has to happen. And so that's the approach I had with LifeVantage. And when I would get on a team call like this with my team in the beginning, there wasn't a soul on that team who didn't know what my why was. They would always say, "Oh, that's Andrea. She wants to retire her husband." Like everybody knew my why. So don't be afraid to speak your why out loud, to say it and to breathe life into it. And so what I would do is I built a lot on social media in the beginning, and I went from no following. I probably had about 300 friends on social media. But again, that why is so strong. You're like, what do I have to do to make this happen? And I was introduced to a social media team. And so what we did is we did a lot of what we call the daily method of operation, the DMO. It's a checklist we do every single day on social media so that we're being relevant, we're connecting with people, we're building our network, we're offering value, we're getting to know people, we're messaging people, not about the product, but like a genuine conversation starter. And what the idea behind that is everybody is suffering. Like all of us on the call, we all have a why. They may be different, but if you get to know somebody, you're going to dig deep. And after just having a heart-to-heart conversation, you're going to understand she's not doing well. She's very sick, right? Or someone she loves is very sick, right? Or she doesn't have enough money. She's really concerned about not having enough money for retirement. They don't know if they could ever retire, right? Or they don't have enough time. They have a great practice, they make good money, but they don't have enough time together. And that's a pain for them. That's a hurt. That's like Skip Campbell, Dr. Skip Campbell. He had money, but they didn't have time. And so you just have to have those conversations with people and speak to them and meet them where they're at. And I love the saying, if it's Zig Ziglar, where he says, we get what we want when we help enough people get what they want. So we find out what people want, we help them get it, whether it's their health, whether it's their practice, whatever it is, they want to build a business. And that's what we do. And you guys, I just stayed consistent. I stayed so consistent. And if I didn't have runners with me, my biggest goal was always to go to the next incentive trip. It was always to earn whatever was coming, whatever LifeVantage put out for me. For example, Cancun. I was so hungry that I would be like, I'm not there yet. I haven't met my goals yet, but I know if I get to Cancun, I'll be closer to my dream. And so I'm not a business person. I don't know how to set goals or anything. Like I didn't know anything. And so I let LifeVantage set the goals for me. I would be like, okay, they said I have to enroll, retain, and advance. So I've got to go look for people. I've got to do this. I've got to get 500 SV. And I'll tell you what, I was so laser focused on them that I did. I won every single incentive that they would put out. So I got to meet Aaron Brockovich. We went to Cancun. We went to Cabo San Lucas. We went to Croatia. We went to Alaska, where Jennifer and I got to hang out. And just little incentive trips along the way. And South Africa, which was incredible. And the dream is so, so, so real. And then I wanted to share with you guys, like going back to the why, another real reason why I was able to retire my husband was I was laser focused. Um, Focus is a superpower. It's a superpower today where we have all squirrel brains. We're constantly distracted. There are so many distractions, but especially in this industry, there is Like there, you will be paid so well if you can just focus and keep the main thing the main thing. There's so many distractions, and I can't tell you how many times over the years that people have like told me to come look at another company. This is better. We have another shiny product over here. And I would just say, nope, that sounds great. Nope, that sounds great. Nope, that sounds great. I know what I have and I know what I want and I know what vehicle I'm in. And here's the thing that we all have to really understand too is, if when we were looking at opening a restaurant, my husband and I, right? Because this is a business just like how a restaurant is a business. If we opened up an Italian restaurant and we made the best Italian food, we wouldn't let anybody come in and tell us, well, you really got to do Japanese. There's really great Japanese food here, right? And then we were like, maybe we can do Japanese on Friday nights at our, it would just be so confusing. And we would be shut down very, very fast. It would not work. You just have to stay in your lane and be the best at what it is you do, the best service, the best hospitality, the best whatever food it is we decided to make, right? If it was farm to table, be the best at that. Partner with the best farmers. And I think too many people today want a little bit of everything. They want a little bit of fast food, a little bit of fine dining, a little bit of Chick-fil-A, a little bit of McDonald's, and they want their feet in everything because everything has some goodness in it. And we have to stay laser focused. And I'll tell you, since several of you said we want to retire our spouse, I would really advise you to stay laser focused on what it is we have at LifeVantage because we have a lot of leaders, um, you know, sharing many different products. And I think what happens is that's when people get stuck and they're not having wins in their own business that they start to quickly say, well, I'm just going to sell everything. And I'm telling you, the big money, the big success, the big freedom is when we stay in one vehicle and we take it all the way home. Because I've gotten the privilege, and Jennifer, you too. Once you become an executive, you start to meet the presidentials and you start to spend more time with them. And it is such an honor and such a privilege, but it's amazing to see the freedom that they actually have. But all of them are laser focused. No, none of them are promoting different products, or scatterbrained or anything. They're just laser focused on what they have and what they have in front of them and taking that vehicle all the way to the top and showing people how to do the same thing. And that's the freedom I want for my family. I really want to create a legacy income for my family. So I'll just back up a little bit. Our family, so we had 5 kids when I started, and staying consistent. We had baby number 6. My husband is still working. Baby number 7, he's still working. And then I said, we had an MC3 business at the time and an MC2 business. And I said to my husband, you've got to quit your job. I'm just so tired. I'm so done. I'm just ready to travel. And I said, we can live on a budget, but let's just go and let's go build this thing even bigger. And he said no for not too long, but like 4 months. He would say no, no, no. And I was like, no, we have to. So he probably in hindsight did quit early. So the 3 years we were not at the executive rank, we were probably making about 7,000 a month at the time. But I thought that was enough for us to just start go living our life. And so we sold our house, we got an RV, and hi. We got an RV and we just traveled. It was about December when we started. And I remember we got in that RV and we just started heading south without any plans. We were just like, we just know it's warm in Florida. That sounds like a good plan, and we'll start there. And so since we started traveling 4.5 years ago, we initially said 1 year, but honestly, we've just loved it so much. And we've met so many incredible people along the way. I tell people we've been all over the state. So we've been from Key West, Florida. We've been all the way up to Acadia, Maine. We have been to San Diego, California. We've dipped down into Mexico. We've been up in California. We've been in the Pacific Northwest and just everywhere in between. All these national parks, all over Utah, all over the West Coast. And I pinch myself a lot because I kind of need to get back to work a little bit harder. But so there's times, you guys, that I look at our life and I see us, and we'll be parked outside of Zion National Park, and the kids are having a blast, and we're unschooling or schooling, homeschooling our kids, and I just think to myself, how do we make money again? Like, how is this money coming in? Because it is amazing when you get to those executive ranks and you start to get those big paychecks that start rolling in. It is real and it's so worth it. And there's a saying, it says, if you could punch through a brick wall to get this kind of freedom, you would. You would absolutely punch through a brick wall to get here. And what I love too is, and Tara shared it on the call tonight. She said, you have to believe it's yours. Like, Kathleen, you want to retire your husband. Several of you want to retire your husband. That is your goal. You have to believe that's yours. It's not maybe that'd be nice if, right? It's like, oh, this is our plan. Like, go all in. Treat it with that intensity. Envision it. Use get your mind on your side because we have the reticular activator, and that's where the law of attraction comes in. That's where what we think about, we bring about. It's very scriptural too. Jesus tells us he wants us to pray as if it's already happened, not like that thing very far away that's so distant and maybe we can have it. He wants it to be real, so real. And I think that's why I was able to retire my husband. I think it's because it was so real to me that you couldn't tell me it wasn't going to happen because I had convinced myself like this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to retire him. This is the thing that's going to, pay all the bills eventually. This is the thing that's going to be the legacy business. So I would love to encourage all of you guys. And just in closing, because I know we're getting close to our time, we're in a very exciting time in LifeVantage. And we're in a very interesting time in the industry where industry-wide people are distracted. Industry-wide, we have affiliates everywhere. There is so much room at the top for leaders and people who say, nope, I'm going all in one thing. I'm getting a team. I'm partnering with women who want to do this, men and women who want to do this too. And we're going to commit to sharing the story of activation. It is such a powerful story, right? We don't need that, not that there aren't other great products out there, but you guys, there's nothing like what we have our hands on, nothing like this. We are so blessed to be able to share something like what we have our hands on. It is just phenomenal to be able to share this. So I would say this is a special time for people who really want something big. If you really want that retirement check, if you want to get to those executive ranks, this is the time to start rowing because this is the time where we're going to start creating leaders, where we're going to divide the wheat from the chaff, the people who want to do affiliate and the people who really want to make an impact and make a legacy. And Terrence Moorhead, who is coming as our new CEO, whose first day was today, I guess his first day in the office will be Wednesday. This is what he was hired to do. And he has over 25 years in the industry and he is amazing. His super X factor power is that he can take a company that is struggling in that 200 million area, right? Kind of like in this purgatory, if you will, where you just can't get out, and he can get them to ascend and get beyond that point and break through and get to that, 300 million, 400 million, 500 million. And then it's going to take all of us to really row together in unison and make it happen. But that's what he's known for. And I'll share with you guys something really cool. If you think the timing is late for LifeVantage, or they've created their presidentials, or maybe things are slower now, someone shared with me, it was Blue Elam shared with me. Let me pull it up, that when you look at legacy companies, and that's what LifeVantage is not going away. We're debt free, we're publicly traded, we're proven, we have the patents, we have the science, we're opening up globally in more and more countries, right? When you have legacy companies, this is how long, like, so for Mary Kay took 23 years to reach 200 million, right? And then it took another 6 years to reach a billion, or 29 more years to reach a billion. New Skin took 6 years to get to 200 million. We took 4 years. New Skin took 6 years to get to 200 million. And then they stayed in that kind of purgatory for 14 years before they hit a billion, right? And then there's other ones. Herbalife took 5 years to get to 200 million. To get to a billion, it took them 24 years. So you see that actually LifeVantage is right on target for our quantum leap, right? But it's not going to happen if we're distracted. It's not going to happen if we're trying to share the greatest medical breakthrough in the history of medicine and red light therapy and ivermectin and all the other things, that people could possibly take. We just won't have that velocity to get to share it with the world. And when we think about it, our focus is a superpower, and it's what's going to help so many people because this needs to be in every single home in America. Would you agree? Drop a one in the comments if you think like everyone needs to know this. Everyone needs to be like, I'm activated. I was activated today, right? So it is an exciting time. I'm blessed to lock arms with you. I love that we're cross-line sisters and that we're all here to support each other. So with that, I'll turn it back to Jennifer.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was amazing. I just so appreciate you taking time out of your night and joining all of our amazing team. I love these people. I'm like, I want to see them have the freedom that I'm able to have. And I know it's possible. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's what I tell them. Anybody have any, Martina, quick, because I have to get off on
So
a, yes, go
I
ahead.
just want to know, you talk about laser focus. You have 8 kids. How did you continue to stay laser focused with 8 kids?
That's a good question. It's your non-negotiable, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what's going on in the day, that DMO has to get done. Like it's a non-negotiable. So that's the focus. And so it doesn't matter if the kids are throwing up and they're sick and I have a 1-month-old baby, the DMO gets done. And it may just be the bare minimum and maybe like, good, I send out 3 messages. Good, I did this. I planned my week, but it's just the intensity of how important it is.
Wow, that's a great answer. Thank you.
Great question. Awesome. Anyone else? Anyone else? No? Well, Andrea, thank you. Thank you everyone for getting on tonight. And we will see you next week. And we will have a new CEO in office. So I am sure we are going to be having a big message next week about Terrence Moorhead. So watch
Yeah.
for that. Thank you everyone for
Thank you,
getting.
Andrea.
Thank you,
Love
Andrea.
you, ladies. Have a great
Yep.
call to Australia. That's exciting.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Take
Go
care.
Rocket.
Woohoo.
Thank you.